Hey Lydia, thank you so much for being here with me. I'm really happy to see you through the web.
Yeah, good to see you too. Thank you for thinking of me and just inviting me on.
Yeah.
Thank
So I just wanted to hear from you. How are you doing right now through all of this? How are you doing personally?
Things are pretty bad, quite honestly. I know we talked about it actually like just a week and a half ago. It's crazy that it was just a week and a half ago we were working together, but I recently, about a month ago, quit my day job to be a full-time freelance performer, which is really, really exciting. Um, so unfortunately, now that events are pretty much banned, I don't really have work for a while. I'm happy that at least I was pretty prepared because around this time of year does tend to be slower for me. So I'm not concerned about not being able to like pay bills or anything, assuming this has an end, but it's not ideal. I was hoping to use those savings to really build up my business, purchase more costumes, get more content made. I file for an LLC. I was really hoping that a lot of this would end up going to just business expenses instead of going to just floating along, however long this is going to be happening.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm doing.
It sounds like you have been pretty impacted. How is it looking for you financially? Is it like pretty much a done deal? Do you have any money coming in at all? What's it looking like?
Kind of silver lining is one of the best pieces of advice somebody gave to me before I got into doing this full time was to diversify your income as much as you possibly can. So if you're a performer, maybe don't necessarily just be a performer, maybe teach classes or make costumes, whatever. So I also paint. I'm also a visual artist. So right now, I've been mainly just moving to selling as much art as I can, just producing and selling visual art. Um, it's still kind of tricky right now because since so many people are impacted by this, a lot less people have the disposable income to be purchasing art. But right now, at least, that looks like that's going to be my main income source for a while. And like I said, I mean, I was prepared for a slow season, which is good. If something like this had happened in like October around Halloween for me, that would have been very disastrous. But because it happened at this time of year, it's going to be very difficult, but not impossible to get through. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Gotcha. What kind of advice do you have for anybody in our industry that might be listening and the world in general?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you can diversify your income in some way as a creative, I think it's really, really helpful to do. I mean, it depends on exactly what it is you're doing, but I think anybody involved in just events, especially. I mean, for me, I'm a performer. I mainly do like fire, LED, just general specialty performance. For people like me, I think it's really good to have just other sources of income. Um, and that's not to say have a day job. That's actually not what I mean at all. I think it's actually for me. I've been looking for things that feed back into what I do. So again, like teaching lessons, selling and making costumes or jewelry, having those other creative pursuits that amplify what it is you're doing, but can also serve as other sources of income. So that's been really helpful to me. It would be it would be much more difficult right now if I didn't have anything at all. So actually behind me, I have like like a bunch of paintings behind me. Yeah, I've been working a lot in the studio. So that's That's probably my biggest piece of advice is, have other streams of income. Obviously, having savings, like any human being, should have savings. You never know what is going to happen until all of a sudden you need 6 months of rent and living expenses covered. So, and that's for anybody. I think in any profession, I think anything can happen. Anything did just happen, So that's my advice. Have savings, have other streams of income if you can, especially if they relate back to what it is you're doing. So
cool. Thank you. Now, is there any way that people can kind of support what you're doing now or learn more about you or invest in future events? Like, is there anything that we can let people know about or how to buy your art, stuff like that?
Yeah, so I'm actually, I am submitting to a couple online art galleries. I don't have the info on those just yet. I'm going to be submitting in the next couple days. Again, purchasing pieces. I do have an Instagram. It's Lydia, Lydia .lux, and I'm always posting available pieces on there as well. And other than that, I mean, as soon as things improve and people are able to start having events again, having events, having those big parties. I imagine people are probably going to really want to. So I'd hope so anyway. I hope that when this is over, people are going to want to throw some big parties.
Well, absolutely. If we could survive this at Palanque, absolutely, you're going to be our number one go-to for anything that comes in. So we will support you. And I'll also put on the your blog here how to contact you on Instagram and things like that as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
That's really it. Just good luck out there to anybody who's listening. So take care. Wash your hands. Stay well. Keep hustling.